Good morning, my friends. This is Paul, and I wanted to first offer an apology before I get into this video, which is a review of Wonder Boy Returns Remix for the Nintendo Switch. First off, I'm trying to please two different people with this video. One is this was a request by one of my fans. I will fact check the name later after I'm done filming this, and I don't want to keep them waiting. But the problem is, as I was capturing footage for this, my sister was in the room, and she kind of hated this game. And I loved the way that she expressed that she hated this was so hilarious that I said, you know what? Why don't you just review the game with me? And at first she said yes, but the thing is, she was sick at the time. And I'm like, okay, do I wait for my sister, or do I do this right away and let her co-review another game? So I decided to do a compromise. This video is going to be the solo version for the sake of the fan request. Then, once my sister gets better, we will make a separate video for the sheer sake of we felt like it. That way, both of you can be happy. So with that, thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, keep the faith, stay epic, God bless, be better than this game. Bye! Good morning, my friends. This is Paul, and today I'm going to be reviewing Wonder Boy Returns Remix for the Nintendo Switch. As I said in my intro, I was originally planning on doing this with my sister, but due to her getting sick and a lot of other things happening, I decided I would just go ahead solo and make another version with her later. So, this is going to be a pretty vanilla review in comparison because my sister is incredibly funny and snarky compared to me. So, I hope you guys are excited for that. So, for those of you that were a bit more impatient and wanted my opinions right away, this is basically a remake of a 1986 arcade game where you would run along these super boring, almost randomly generated levels, and you'd have an ever-dwindling health bar, and you'd refill it by collecting fruit and hoping that you didn't run into an enemy. Because if you got hit by one single enemy, you'd have to start the entire stage over again, with the exception of 4 checkpoints conveniently marked 1 through 4. Now, I'm only going to show one level with the boy in it, because he, oh my gosh, for being called Wonder Boy, he's far from wonderful. In fact, it should have been called Wonder Girl, because Tanya is way better than he is, but off topic. So, when you're playing as the boy, which is supposed to be the intended character, it's not totally an auto runner, but it feels like it wants to be, but isn't, because basically he has very little friction. He's always running in place when you're not actually moving, and when you try to stop, he sort of has this on ice feel, even though this game doesn't take place in an icy wilderness until near the very end. So it almost feels like you're playing as Luigi when this isn't even a Mario game. Not only that, but while you can throw hammers at the enemies, it's not always reliable how the hammers move, because you sort of have this preconceived notion of the physics of hammers, but yet they don't always follow the logic that you'd want them to, especially if you're used to Super Mario Brothers. You can charge up the hammer, sure, but that might take too long if you feel like you're rushing through the levels. Also, making even the littlest jumps feels like an arcane chore. In Super Mario Brothers, it would have been super easy to jump between those 2 boulders earlier, but in that game I felt like I had to shuffle along like I was walking on a tightrope. The controls are that imprecise and sloppy. Not only that, but the boy only has 5 lives to make it through the level, and while you can select any level you want most of the time, there's also another difficulty with the boy in it that's called 1 coin difficulty, where you only have 10 lives to try to make it through the entire game, and all you get is an additional ending. So, as you can probably imagine, I vastly enjoyed playing as Tanya a lot more, and that's not just because I enjoy playing as female protagonists, but also because Tanya gets a really cool scooter. That's just amazing. Now granted, Tom, the boy, can get a skateboard, but he loses it if he lands on an enemy, which gives him 1 more hit, but then he doesn't die immediately if he lands on a boulder, but he does if he lands on an enemy. So how is a bee more poisonous than a boulder? What kind of logic is that? To make up for it, Tanya can't get hurt by anything unless her meter runs all the way out. So basically all you have to do is just basically keep her on autopilot, make sure she eats enough food, and then slow her down, stop her, or jump when she gets to floating platforms, and you're good to go. Now, it may seem like Tanya's levels are a cakewalk, but in reality, they're not. Because it's an auto-scroller, that means that you'll often have to slow her down or speed her up to make certain jumps that would otherwise be a breeze to longtime platforming fans. Even though she always has an angel, so you never have to worry about the enemies or the obstacles, the stiff platforming overall makes it a lot harder than it should be. Now, I could see maybe people who are looking for a Mario Brothers ripoff maybe having like 2 seconds worth of fun with this game, but to struggle your way all the way through only to get a pretty mediocre ending, it's just not worth it. After I beat Tanya's quest, I tried really hard to beat Tom Tom's, but I couldn't get past level 2 because his controls were so imprecise. And my sister's commentary made me wonder why I picked this game up at all, so I said, I did it for a loyal fan, to which my sister just groaned and was like, and how much did you pay for this, Paul? And I said, $15. She's like, $15? And I'll wait until her actual review, because she says things way more funny than I do, and I want her to be able to do it justice. So, suffice to say that even when I'm on my own, I'm going to probably echo my sister's thoughts and just say there's literally nothing good about this game. Like, even if you wanted to say, but Paul, you get to see a cute anime girl riding a scooter, it's like, no, that's not how you make a good game. A good game has good controls, good music, it's enjoyment-inducing. This game is none of that. The only enjoyment I really got out of it was the initial thrill of, yay, I'm on a scooter, and when it ended. So, you can safely skip this. There are better games out there, and especially if you're a Mario fan, there are way better platformers out there. So with that, thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, keep the faith, stay epic, God bless, and please be better than this game, aka think before you auto-run. Bye!